uit Engeland gekomen, de zoon van Qibla Pir Syed Maruf Hussain Shah Sahib Arif No Shahi Qadri Damat Barakatum Alalia Sahibzada Pir Syed Mohammed Ahsan Shah Sahib Sharaf No Shahi Qadri Damat Barakatum Alalia uitnodigen voor een getaab. Ik wil jullie allemaal verzoeken om met een nara hem te verwelkomen. Narai Takbir, Narai Risalat, Narai Risalat, Qibla Sahibzada Sahib.
الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله المتفضل بنعمة الإيجاد والإمداد والإسعاد والهادي لعباده بالرشاد الموفق لهم في كل شأن إلى سروق نهج السداد وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له شهادة من أخذها بيقين فهو في ازدياد وأشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله سيد السادة الأمجاد اللهم بارك وصل وسلم عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم البعث والمعاد أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الذين ينفقون في السراء والضراء والكاظمين الغيظ والعافين عن الناس والله يحب المحسنين صدق الله مولانا العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم عليه مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من عرب ومن عجم فاق النبيين في خلق وفي خلق ولم يدالوه في علم ولا كرم وكلهم من رسول الله ملتمس غرفا من البحر أو رشفا من الديم ثم الرداء نبي بكر وعن عمر وعن علي وعن عثمان ذي الكرم يا رب صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. All praise belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator, the master and the sustainer of the universe. And may countless salutations and incalculable salawat be upon the best of the creation, the leader of all prophets, our master Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And thereafter, my dearest listeners, sometimes we become so busy with our daily problems. Sometimes we are so engaged with our daily chores that we often neglect certain important things in our lives. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in this verse of Surah Al-Imran that those who spend fi sarra'i wa dharra, yani in times of ease and in times of hardship, these are the people who are the muhsineen. These are the people Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves, those who are muhsineen, who are the people who do good, who do righteousness. Now, spending not only means to spend wealth in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but also to give time, also, personal presence as well. Spending in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could be in many different ways or forms. So in all situations and circumstances, our aim should be to strive and struggle in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In our work life, if we look at the year-end performance reviews that we have, or if you look at our sales targets or whatever you want to call them, we have daily, weekly, monthly, 6 perhaps, biannual or an annual targets, and at the end of the year, at the end of that period that was set, we review what we have achieved in that period. If we achieved it, that's well and good. But if not, what happens is that we then set another target for the next year. So whatever happened before we review that, what we can learn and take forward. And then basically we're given a new chance, another chance to reset ourselves, reposition ourselves, regroup ourselves, and then set new goals for the time to come so that we can achieve those goals. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives this opportunity to reset ourselves 5 times a day. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that once you read Zuhur, that prayer wipes away everything that happens before it. Once you read the Asr, that Asr prayer wipes away everything before that happened before it. So you're given a chance to reset yourself. And then if you make a mistake, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you another chance. If you pray Maghrib or Asr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you another chance. If you pray Isha and then you sleep, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says nothing is written against you. So we are given 5 chances to reset ourselves in the day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so merciful. One of the very major inhibitors of us changing our way is that thought that if I change my way, it is most likely that I'm going to fall back into that cycle or fall back into that circle. It might have happened before, but sometimes this is what stops us from taking that step, changing our behavior or changing our attitude to certain things, because we fear that we may go back to our old habituated practices. But we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then gives us 5 chances a day. So if you made a mistake, you have another chance. If you make another mistake, then you have another chance. If you make another mistake, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you another chance. And once you return to Allah, turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seek repentance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us a clean shot. He gives us a clean account so that we can write our deeds again, our actions again. He gives us another opportunity, another chance. We must always look for opportunities. But when we are provided with opportunities on an open trade, it would be very, stupid of us to, turn those opportunities away. We would be very ridiculous if we turn those opportunities away which were presented to us in an open tray. And an open invitation was given to us. Right, there is an opportunity, take the opportunity. We've given you many chances. But if we then don't take it, then what can we call ourselves? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so merciful. He has given many chances throughout the day, allowing us to turn back to Him, turn back to His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Therefore, my dearest listeners, dearest brothers, we in our life in general, we also need to make sure that even though all of us have problems in our lives, we have things that we have to take care of. We all have jobs. I can also say that now. We all have jobs. We all have families. We all have houses to take care of. We all have to do all of these things. We all have to do groceries. We all have to buy things for the house. Yes, we have to go to the masjid. We have to read Jummah. We have to read prayers. We have to learn. We have to teach. We have to do all of that. We have family, we have relatives. Even though I don't have any uncles, but I do have other family. So we have family that we have to tend to, if they fall ill, that we have to visit them, we call them, we communicate with them, keep our relationships with them. So if all of this is stopping us from progressing, then this will never change. These are the daily struggles of life, and they will never go away. And if this is what inhibits us from development and progress, then we are going to stay wherever we are at the moment. We will be stagnant. And what is stagnant gains rust and slowly erodes away. So if you want to progress, if you want to be different, if you want to succeed,
and excel, despite having all of these things, we must now never lose track of the future, of our goals that we set, of what we want to achieve. We mention what our elders have done. You know, Pir Sahib did this, Adi Sahib did this, our ulama, our mashayikh did this. But can we just live on the legacy of the past? We cannot. We cannot only live on the legacy of the past and what the elders have already done. They have done what they have to do. What was their responsibility? They also had these problems that we face in our daily lives. We also have to play football, we also have to watch football, we also have to, I don't know, like a few Instagram posts and whatnot. We do these kind of things. They had their own kind of problems back in the days. They had family to feed in Pakistan, they had, you know, uncles, nieces and nephews, they had to get them, you know, married off, they had to pay off their debts, they had to do a lot of things. And then maintain their own family as well. So the problems were not less than the time that we are today, they were probably more, and their times were even harder than us. You know, communication was not easy. If something happened in a different country, they might not know it straight away, and you know, it may take about weeks and weeks and weeks before they get a letter, or you know, somehow someone comes from that country and they are informed of that. So they had struggles, and perhaps they were more than the struggles that we're facing today. But yet, they made time, they had a vision, they were planning for the future, they did not forget about their future, and then they did something about it. They did not sit and cry, oh, what's going to happen? We are in a foreign country, you know, there's no mosques, what are we going to do? You know, it's not easy to preach Islam. Okay, that's fine, yeah, you know, there's nothing that we can do about it, just, you know, I'm working 35 hours, 45. Now it's 35. Back in the days it used to be, I don't know, 60 or 70 hours, because people used to work 12-hour shifts and maybe longer than that as well. So this concept of full-time and part-time probably is something that, you know, we have now. Back in the days, people used to work extra, even harder, because they had a lot of responsibilities. And even then, they had a vision and they worked towards that vision. And even now, what I think is that we cannot only live on the legacy of the past, we need to also set a direction for ourselves, not only in terms of our religious affairs, but our worldly affairs as well. You know, if you're struggling in a position, we don't need to persist in that position and accept it as it is. We need to find a solution to that problem. You know, consult those people who do not consult anyone who has never faced any of that situation. If you are asking for guidance or guidelines from someone who's never ever, you know, worked for someone, for example, employment, you know, how you can improve something, or behavior advice for someone who hasn't even actually read a single book on, you know, psychology, or has, you know, any experience in that, is going to obviously give you some sort of strange advice on that or not. So those people who have endured it, look up to them, gain advice for them, but always, even though we have our daily problems, we have a vision for ourselves, for the future, and we have to take control of our future as well. We are in this situation now, in the present moment. We have the ability to shape our future, what we want, where we want ourselves to be in the next 5 to 10 years. And my dearest brothers, you know, there's never going to be a better opportunity than now. We look for a realization, a sudden, you know, light bulb that might light up in our brain, and then we might realize, all right, you know, I now have to step out of my comfort zone, and the cycle of life that I'm in, and then, you know, actually do something to fix the problem that I'm facing at the moment. But that's not going to happen. And in some time, you know, it can take many things for us to realize that. It could be someone close to us passes away, and then it makes us realize now, okay, now I have to do something about something in particular. Or if I reach a certain age, that because, you know, youth is a very delicate time, we don't care about anything. Until we're about 25, 26, 27, then we think, okay, now most of the life is gone. And if we sit around idle and do nothing, or be stagnant, be lazy, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has specifically taught us to seek refuge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from slack, from laziness, from being stagnant and staying in that same position for long periods of time. There must be progress and positive progress. We must move in the right direction. So we must review where we stand today and then develop a plan for the future, develop a vision for the future, and then work towards that goal. And do not remain stagnant, whether it is your deen, you think you've learned enough. No. Learn more. Gain more hasanats. All the time that you have in this dunya, this is a cultivating ground. And if you have this land for cultivation, use it to the brink. Use it to the fullest and make the best use of it now. Even if in terms of education, in any other affairs, complete your education. If it comes to work, if you think your employment is restricting you, you're not making ends meet, then try to do something else on the part, on a side, just so that you try what you love, what you want to do, and then if that turns out to be a good venture, then you can slowly move into that. But the message that I want to give you today, including myself, is that we must not remain stagnant. If we are stagnant, that doesn't mean that this is going to maintain itself. We were never going to maintain anything in this life. Everything is temporary. Our health that we have is temporary as well. So if we do not plan for the future, if we do not save for the future, if we do not prepare for ill health, if we do not prepare for the time when we are not able to work any longer, when we are not able to, we do not have any energy left in ourselves, then what will we do in that situation? Therefore, my dearest listeners, all of the things that we know are the realities of life, we need to work towards them, and it's never too late to turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to learn the deen. No matter what our age is, we always have time. The excuse that you find is, don't have time, but we know we all have time. No matter how busy we are, we all can make time if we want to make time. So make time for your family, make time for yourself, make time for the deen. If you're not able to spend in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala financially, give your time. Be there for your brothers and sisters, be there for your Muslim brothers and sisters, support them, help them, be there for them, give them support, mental support, be there in person for them. This is our responsibility as a community, to be closely linked to each other, develop these relationships. So pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the tawfiq to form strong relationships and make us amongst those people who sit with each other for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who spend on each other for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the tawfiq to follow the footsteps of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Wa salaamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.